Cheers, I do buckaroos, and how the heck are you? I am Tom the Beer Whisperer. Hell, man, who else would I be? My daughter got me this shirt. It says, I smoke meat and I know things. Of course, my saying on my business card is, I drink beer and I say stuff. So it's close up. And for the record, I was using that phrase long before I ever heard of Game of Thrones. In fact, I never even watched an episode of the show, so I didn't even know who the character was until I started seeing some merch. But I was saying it long before that. I'm just putting that out there. I'm just saying, man. Just putting it out there. Let me adjust my camera just a touch here. So a beer friend had sent me this one. Black currant, cinnamon milk sugar, forbidden Phreak, Phreak sour, 5.2%. It says here, black currant sour ale, brewed and canned by Mustang Brewing Company, Chantilly, Virginia. He sent me some great beers, man. I will say that the head dissipates almost instantaneously. Not necessarily unusual for the style, though. Well, I got to tell you, that aroma scares me a little bit because it's very tart on the nose. In fact, it might be more than tart on the nose. Black currant, cinnamon milk sugar. Yeah, you know, I got to be honest with you, I'm not incredibly familiar with the black currant, but you do feel that, you know, that fruit nose that I'm guessing is the black currant. But you do feel a little of that milk sugar sweetness. You also feel a little of that slight hint of cinnamon. Wow, whoo! That made my innards pucker. Yeah, that'll make your sphincter pucker. I ain't kidding you. So here's the thing. I've kind of got into the sour thing, kind of kicking and screaming. For the longest time, I just hated them until I just made myself understand them, right? I mean, I hate when beer reviewers say they don't like a beer just because they're not crazy about the style. Just because you don't like the style doesn't mean it's a bad beer, and you shouldn't tell people it's a bad beer because it's not a style that you particularly like. Especially if you're calling yourself a beer reviewer, which I personally don't. You need to understand the style. So every time I went to a brewery, I would order a sour. I needed to know if I had a good one or not. I needed to know if I was able to find flaws when flaws were there. So I could say, the beer is not for me, but it's not flawed. If it's a style you like, if these are the flavors you like, it's a good beer. It's not a bad beer just because I don't like it. So I just hate that, man, when the people tell you, well, it's a bad beer. Why? Well, I don't like this flavor or that flavor. Well, that doesn't mean it's a bad beer. It just means you don't like those flavors. I mean, if you're calling yourself a beer reviewer, you ought to be able to make that distinction. Anyway, tell me if it's flawed. If it's not flawed, just tell me it's a good beer, but you don't care for the style or the flavors. How about that? That just drives me batshit crazy, man. So again, like I said, I mean, I'm not familiar with the black currant, so you do feel a fruit nose. I'm assuming that's the black currant. But it does tart up on you. Yeah, I ain't kidding. Yeah, I mean, it's sour. It's definitely a sour. So let me just say this. Yeah, the flavors there's nothing wrong with the flavors. The aromas, it's everything about this beer is appealing. If you like your innards tightened, if you want your sphincter to pucker, you're going to like this beer. But I'm on record, right, guys? I mean, I'm not crazy about sour things. I don't eat warheads. I don't eat sour candies. I've never been crazy about sour things. So for me, it's a style. It's sort of we've got a kind of a love-hate relationship. I make myself try them because I need to know if I've got a good one or not. So would this be a beer that I would buy frequently? The answer is no. The other part of that question is, if I was traveling to Virginia and had the ability to buy another can of this, the truth is I would buy it again, just so I could revisit it. I think it is that good. I think it does what it says it's going to do. It's not it wouldn't be a go-to beer for me under any circumstance, but yes, if I was in a situation where I could buy one, I would. The aromas are pleasant. The flavors are pleasant, but are pleasant. But it is a little more to the sour side than I like. I like more closer to tart than sour, or somewhere between. But hedging more to the tart side than sour. And for those of you, here, I've had some friends that say, well, tart and sour are the same thing. No, tart and sour aren't the same thing. Tart is a key lime pie. Sour is biting into a lemon. Those are two completely different sensations. So when I say, yeah, right in the middle, somewhere between key lime pie and a straight lemon bite. Anyways, cheers. Was all I ever used to know. I will say this, though. My first sip of this, I mean, everything tightened up. But as I'm working through it, I am picking up more flavors and more aromas, and I'm finding it more enjoyable. But there was a bit of a shock first because it was very tart right away. Yeah, so yeah, it's growing on me, let's just say. So there you go. I am Tom the Beer Whisperer, Beer Evangelist, prolific beer drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and but it will make your sphincter pucker, I ain't gonna lie. All right, good guy, cheers.